All right, now it is a very eventful time in pop culture. Randomly Ronnie Jr., along with one of my favorite people to collaborate with and talk pop culture, David Yontef of Behind the Velvet Rope, talking to everybody, making headlines, all the stuff. How are you feeling about the pop culture world at the moment as we get into, we're a few months out, 30 days out from summer. How are you feeling about everything?
I mean, there's a lot going on, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I really would like a quiet summer in the pop culture world. That really is what I want. I mean, we had the Met Gala, we have trailers dropping, we had the New York City trailer drop, which is nothing except an apple. Taylor Swift is single now. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes are kissing at Coachella. There's a lot going on, Ronnie.
Oh, Shawn Mendes. I always love a good Shawn Mendes
Oh,
story, even though I don't believe half of them, but that is neither here nor there. Okay, then let's go right to it. Real Housewives of New York did not give us a trailer, but they did give us an essence, like a teaser. I feel like if you have held this show off for so long, confused everybody with is there a legacy? Is there not a legacy? Is there Luann, Sonia? It's been this long. I need more than an apple. I mean, a silhouette would have been good. We've seen them being photographed at Empire State Building, like some kind of silhouette, high heels, something. Just an apple, David. Kind of left me wanting more, which I guess is the whole theory. What was your take?
I mean, listen, I think it could be either really good or really bad, right? Like this apple does get you excited because you see
Mm-hmm.
the apple, it's Bravo. You obviously know what this means. Someone takes a bite of it and then you just have that. I mean, it's very dramatic, right? But
Mm-hmm.
really, so that's great. It makes us want more. And that means, wow, this could be epic. Or is this like we have a bunch of shit for a trailer and it's not going to be great?
Oh
And we
no.
don't really know what to show you because we have two other trailers that dropped and I have mixed feelings on the two other trailers. We have the OC and the Atlanta, and I've got a lot to
Okay,
say.
we'll get there. We'll get there. I love you being so smart with it, but I'm going to suspend disbelief and assume that they do have enough to give us. But this was their way of saying, get ready. Here's the release date. We got a trailer. We're going to make you salivate for it. Your theory isn't terrible, and I hope it is not that. I would be real sad. My thing is with New York, and we'll move on because we do got to go here. We gotta move. We got lots to talk about, including the Met Gala. We got to talk about fashion. I just feel with New York, stop with the overthinking. We just need put the show on. It'll be fine. It's New York. Housewives, it's always gonna kind of work. Bad ratings and all, you gotta let it go. That's just how I feel about it. Okay, so let's continue on with what we're kind of speaking on before we get to the Met. We want to do a little bit of a Real Housewives breakdown. So we're gonna go through some of the series that are being filmed at the moment. So what is your take on Miami? Seems like everyone's coming back. Maybe a new person. Where do you think they need to go? What was a good storyline? What wasn't? Go ahead, David.
I mean, they're all coming back. I mean, we've seen little clips this week. I don't know if you're up on it. It seems like
Mhm.
Adriana's really chummy with Gertie, I think. I mean, Gertie was crying at some event. I heard behind the scenes Nicole wasn't really signing her contract. I assume she signed it now. I mean,
Mm,
girl, I mean, I don't know. It's like you could
is
be
she pull?
dramatic.
Is
It
she
could be,
pulling? Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, like, you're not gonna sign it. Like, I don't care what you say or how much money you have. You want to be back. That's what I was gonna say.
Even though it's her third season, don't pull a Leah. Remember, Leah was very like, I'm not going to sign, which, we'll never knock a negotiation. But I don't know, Nicole, if you could repeat the performance you had on that last season. To me, she still was uneventful, but I won't say that she didn't create a fan base. The Larsa thing definitely helped her out. Larsa saying, I want to be cool with Nicole, like as she sort of did in the reunion, is like Nicole's worst nightmare. Make no mistake about it. Nicole loves being able to correct Larsa like that. That gives her a little bit of a purpose. I got to tell you, that's how I feel.
I feel the same way. Like when someone's really not sure they're going to sign, I'm willing to listen. But then when you have someone like a Nicole, to me, it's like, I'm not even listening. Same thing. Like I
Yeah.
don't care how much money you have. You love being there and you're going to sign. Like, give
Yeah.
me a break. So
Right.
I agree with you. Like, you feel that this gives you whatever purpose it gives you, even though you are an anesthesiologist and your husband's a lawyer, you still love being there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I say it all the time, Nicole, Dr. Nicole. Hi, Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole, we kind of like you, but let's be real. And this is my last Real Housewives of Miami moment. You're Larsa's fan, and I know you don't know what to do with yourself sometimes. You're besides yourself. Anyways, David, before we go from Miami, I wanted to give you a pitch of a couple people I would love to see on the show also. So,
Sure.
um, a little younger than I usually like, but Michelle Pooch, events, DJing, and she's really close with Larsa, and she was also on a VH1 reality show as well. She almost didn't fit with the VH1 show, which leads me to think that she might actually grow into a potential opportunity for Miami. I'm not saying she would fit, but as much as I love Larsa, bringing in another Larsa kind of allied, it to me seems good. That's the first one. Now, this one, have you seen this show? It's called Designing Miami. They are a couple. It was on Netflix. I don't think it's getting brought back, but it was so good, David. Both of them were designers, and it was kind of competitive because she was more successful than him. He, oh my God, was a piece of work, David. I mean, he's a cutie. He's got style. He's got a little sass
And
too.
he's a straight man just based on this picture.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a straight
Okay.
man, but I mean,
Just
he
asking.
he loves the girls. He loves the, he cool with the, he cool. What am I saying? Don't ask these questions. I get a little warm. Um, anyway, it was a good reality show. It was a little too design style, in terms of you sometimes need it to be salacious for the show to work. It didn't go there. It was a really nice design show and showcased Miami in the best way and family. And are we gonna stop our career to have children? It had everything you need. If that show doesn't come back, and I don't know what contracts look like to go from like network to network, I would love to see them at some point. Maybe not next season, but a season or 2 or 3. I think this couple is hot in Miami. They're locals. It could totally work. That's just my vision.
I never saw the show, but there's someone that lives in my building in LA who is a designer. And she's
Mhm.
like, every time she sees me, she's like, have you seen it yet? I told you, you need to
Really?
watch it. She's a huge fan of the show.
Oh, get out. See, I thought I was the only one, but it's David. It's hot. Like you got me hot and bothered when you asked if he was straight, and he is.
I don't know anything about him. I'm just looking at this picture. I don't want to stereotype. I mean,
No, I
I
like
don't
it,
know.
David. I like it. Let's go.
But they
Uh,
look nice.
yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. So that's just a couple casting predictions that I would like to see. You're gonna talk more about this because I don't really know Beverly Hills like everyone else does. I don't call it the crown jewel of the network. So long as Kyle's on the show, it's always been a bit boring to me. And I mean that season 1, episode 1, frame 1, Kyle has always been lackluster. I mean, it's phenomenal how she keeps a job. My question to you, and you could kind of just tell me what you anticipate while they're filming now. How is it going to survive without Lisa Rinna? Good or bad? I feel like this is a huge loss for the show.
I mean, listen, I feel like I have such mixed feelings about this because I mean, I just was at the Homeless Not Toothless event, and I observed. So I think, look, I think the girls, first of all, have gotten a directive this season of like, we don't want to have any bots or, racial issues. And, Lisa became quote unquote toxic. So I think they've been given a directive to like kind of cool it down. And there doesn't really seem to be that much drama going on. So it's kind of like at the same time, like when you have like a Dorinda or someone that totally overpowers everyone. I mean, the girls have said this whole season feels different. So I feel it could either be really good and it could be like a fun ensemble cast, or it could be like, yeah, where is the drama and what are we watching? I mean, there's really nothing. I don't think there's much there. And they sprinkle in Denise and Camille and all these other people from the past, but I don't necessarily think that's a good sign of like this blockbuster season like last season. It's almost like a reset for Beverly Hills at this point.
Yeah. I watch, but I don't always watch. It doesn't hold me that much. I'm a little interested to see how people react because it seems like Erika Jayne is kind of getting her comeback season to a degree. I mean, I assume we're going to get a little bit of that with the residency that she's going to have in Las Vegas. So that'll be interesting because it was 2 years ago that like Twitter ripped her to shreds every day. She couldn't even like, go go for a walk, and it was always, what about the victims, which is totally rightfully so, but it was a hard to see that what she went through in that time, and of course the victims as well. I just am interested to see what this looks like for her to have endured that, reshifted, refocused, and kind of come out on the other side. I think there's a little victory type story in that. So that I think will be a little interesting to me. Erika Jayne.
I think so. And like, I even talked to her at Homeless Not Toothless, and it feels that way. I think I spoke to her. She feels that way. I think, she's like, look, we're not out of the woods. We have more to go, but
Sure.
it is kind of a comeback for her. I feel like she feels it, I think people are coming around. I'll admit it. I mean, I'm going to Vegas. I will be at this show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you can't keep people from going on in their life, right? So I'm like a supporter of someone who, and Erika even said at this event, you really just have to like pull the wool over and like protect yourself when the whole world is coming. We don't know how that feels, but I could tell you, if it happened to me, I would get through it. Like, so I understand this whole, like, you have to preserve yourself regardless of all this other stuff. So I kind of am there for this Erika.
Yeah. And I think sometimes even as a fan, you just want to say something kind about a person and maybe what they're overcoming. And then suddenly sometimes the world could look at it as like, oh, well, you're neglecting this issue. No. There's
two things get to be true.
Exactly. So I kind of have an intrigue, and maybe because, like you say, there's not a lot going on. But I don't spend a lot of time on Beverly Hills, so I guess I'm kind of okay just to see where it'll go. Hopefully it's a fun show, and that's what it is. People say Real Housewives of Potomac needs a rest. I kind of feel like they have a groove no matter what, and you could have somewhat of an off season, issues and all, but I feel like Potomac should and will bounce back. What are your thoughts? Is there any truth? You know all the stuff, David. Is there any truth that Taylor from Big Brother, our amazing winner who won not just the $750,000, but she won not Miss Congeniality. What is it called?
America's favorite house guest.
Yes, and we love her. We love Taylor from Big Brother. Was there any truth that she was possibly filming with Ashley or testing? Do you know anything about that?
I mean, like, she might have filmed something, but she's not really. There is somebody, and I forgot her name, who is in the mix to be a new housewife. And apparently she just had a huge blow up with Wendy Osefo at Karen Huger's pickleball event. So I feel last season was such an off season for me, for Potomac. I didn't like it. I am so ready for a reset for Potomac. I just didn't like last season, and I'm hopeful maybe that next season is really great. You almost can't explain why a season is bad. Like, all the elements were there. I just didn't love last season. I really hope by not taking a break that they're doing the right thing and Potomac comes back with a bang, because I think you have some great all-stars there.
And new discoveries. If people really have all the issues they have with Robyn for neglecting to give all that information, all you have to do as cast members is hold her to the fire. I personally like Robyn. I didn't think it was that crazy. You do somewhat have a prerogative on how you carry your business. If you want to take it to the Patreon, that is your prerogative, but also consequences can be, the network may not like that. The fans may not like that. Okay, great. Then hold her to the fire and you got a show going. So it'll be interesting, and I hope for the best for all of them. I really don't like the way the show is very divided. So I'm hoping that whoever they add in will mix it all together. Moving along. So yeah, these people who fall off, Potomac, it's done. Calm down. It's just one season. Relax. Okay, so how excited are you about these two new shows? We've got the trailers. We're amongst premiere dates. How do they stack up, David? Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Orange County.
I mean, do you want the good news or do you want the bad news first?
I'm a pessimistic bitch. Give me the bad news first.
I mean, I think it's time to call it with the OC. I think it's time to call it time of death. Listen, we had Heather come back. Now we have if Tamara can't save this show, there ain't nobody else in that past roster to be bringing back. I think when you have to take a trailer, and this is my point with New York, but I think it's different with New York because also you get a trailer like a month before. It is too early for the New York trailer. So rather than show us nothing, they're giving us this little nugget. So I don't think it's like you said where we began. It's not necessarily bad news. To me, when you take a trailer and you have these gimmicks, we're like in the 1950s, we're playing music. God. It's like, I Love Lucy. This ain't a good sign. This ain't a good sign for the meat and potatoes here where there is none. Then we see Tamara throw a napkin. I mean, Teresa Giudice flipped a table 16 years ago. So a napkin toss, you can play all the scary music you want. I saw nothing interesting about the Orange County trailer. Really. I mean, I'm willing to be convinced. I think it's going to be such a lackluster season. I really do. I don't even want to watch. But I'm going to, because it's my job. But I'm not impressed, Ronnie. Not impressed.
I agree with you, and I don't even like those trailers in general where they, the ones where they do like they're at some moment where they're all zen or they're doing some yoga or something, and they like run that scene, but then within the scene they're like peace and warmth and tranquility, and then like the cutaways to like you stupid. I don't like that way of trailers anyway. But above to what you're saying about that, what was it, the 1950s Housewives? I didn't like that. And quite frankly, I don't want to make sure I overstep. I don't want to mansplain or anything like that. But I felt like it was a little patronizing, actually. I was like, this is not like, just give us the show. But maybe there was no show to give. Just give us the show and let us know what the trailer looks like. A lot of people did like Tamara. Give us something. But the whole equation to where a woman stood in the 50s and now, I don't know, maybe it was empowering, maybe I'm missing something, but I was a little like looking,
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was a little like squinting, like, wait a minute, who signed off on this? You know what I mean? It didn't look great. Yes, and throwing a napkin is nothing, and you knew it was a bad sign if Taylor became a friend of. I mean, I guess that's an accomplishment, the first one to ever go from franchise to franchise, but Taylor, it doesn't look good.
I don't even need to know anything else. You just say the name Taylor. She's more interesting than at least two people that are full-time cast members that I can think of. So
do you last thing about OC, and then you could do your something about Atlanta, and then we'll do the Met Gala, and we have to talk about the fashion. Do you miss Noella at all? Because honestly, I hate that I kind of liked her.
No. I don't.
Okay, that's it. We don't have to.
I found her just trying so hard. Thirsty.
I know.
That's me.
I agree. I know, but I also like wonder, like, what is she doing on a Tuesday? She was.
I haven't even thought of her. So now, I mean, you just made me. I think even she's better than some of the people that they cast.
Yeah. Do we love our Atlanta girls? I mean, for me, no disrespect to Kandi because she's the icon as well. But this is the Kenya Moore show, always will be. I just love that girl. She represents our 90s. Like we remember, trying to knock it as like, oh, you're a has-been from the 90s. Please. It's all about Kenya. So what are you thinking about Atlanta this season?
Here's the thing. Last season for Atlanta, to me, just like I said with Potomac, was so off. I didn't like Atlanta at all last season. This trailer came out. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even want to watch it. I was like, I'm so not interested in the new season of Atlanta. I watched this trailer. I would like to apologize to every cast member of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I thought it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And if it really packs the same punch as this trailer, now you have Martell Holt in the mix with Sheree. I think people come for Kandi. People are always saying nobody comes for Kandi. All she wants to do is talk about like her success. And well, Marlo's coming for her, and so is Sheree. So let's just start right there. They've already started doing interviews. I think this trailer looks, and we have Drew's divorce. They pick cameras back up. I have such high hopes for this season of Atlanta. I am excited based on this trailer. I am excited.
Kandi sometimes gets a little, I guess, underrated, but no, she holds her own, and I would like to see that. I think she's the star of the show, but just the fact that I like Kenya so much more. But you're right. I'm interested with the She by Sheree moment and the love, and I mean, I don't know about that guy. I didn't watch him on his other reality show, but I mean, he was quite handsome. So I mean, we're watching, and we'll see how it goes. Real quick, David, a question for you. David, of course, does Behind the Velvet Rope. I think we got a little image there. Question to
Ooh.
you: you do a Patreon with a an amazing past housewife, Kim D, and you do that, I believe, every week. Can you tell me a little bit about what goes on there? But also, out of all the housewives and the franchises we've been talking about, if you could do another Patreon, let's say a Sunday, which Real Housewife would you want to do a show with? Who like speaks to you? Who speaks your language? Who understands you in that way? Who would you say?
Well, I'd like to do 15 extra shows, but
David,
you
why
know,
don't you ever want to sleep?
I know. Well,
I try to like catch up to your pace so I could succeed,
it's
and I'm
not
on my
fun for
way.
me.
But damn it, man, 5 episodes a week is not enough.
And really, it's 7 now because I have the Patreon and I do
Damn
a
it.
repeat on Sundays, which I still have to prepare.
Oh my god.
We're heading in the wrong direction, my dear.
Well, I'm
But
glad I have you right now. Yeah.
I mean, just because look, there's a lot of housewives I could see. Listen, in my ideal world, I'll be totally honest with you. I would love to take a different housewife that's not on the show from every franchise. And when that franchise is on, like I'd love to Miami. I'll take Anna Kikose, so I'm close with, and we'll do that if they would all do that with me. But, Catherine Edwards and I from Beverly Hills,
Oh.
we have a thing. She's been on my show like 15 to 20 times. She is probably one of the most, if not the most requested guest of who people want back. She's just like really smart. We just align the way her mind thinks. It's like she understands the show's not real. And so we really take it like and break the fourth wall and kind of hypothesize. And we just have a great chemistry.
I would love to see her on she only had the one season. I feel like she made an impact, but she only had the one season. Give her a Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, one season wonders or whatever. She would be fun. Yeah.
I don't know if just knowing her, I don't know if she would do it. Like, I'm not speaking out of turn. She said she wouldn't do it. I kind of believe her. I just always am like, let's just, keep the door open a little bit. But, like in theory, I would love to sit with Lisa Rinna on Beverly Hills and let's talk. Brandy Glanville, so underrated. Brandy really gets how this works.
Yeah.
I would love to have Brandy Vanderpump Rules. I would love to have Jax on every week. So just the list goes on and on. But I think because Catherine and I have done like 20 to 25 shows together, and we just kind of are in a zone, she would be great.
It's a good question. Years ago, long before there was Reasonably Shady, after I interviewed Gizelle Bryant and then, her manager, Erika Lyles, I was pitching something where I was like trying to get the ball rolling to do something with Gizelle. So while I think Gizelle would be great to do a podcast with if I got that opportunity, because I asked you the question, I always want to manifest. And, listen, not everyone needs to love her, but a Randomly Ronnie Jr. Patreon episode on a Saturday with Larsa Pippen would be a vibe. I'm just trying to tell you, it would be good, David. Would you watch?
Why people don't love Larsa? I really don't. Listen, Larsa isn't going anywhere. She is. I don't care what you say. Yes, even when she's not the main person in the show, her name, it's like Kandi Burruss to Atlanta. It does add a certain sprinkle of cachet to the whole franchise. They're not going to get rid of Larsa. Yes, she hasn't spoken to Kim Kardashian in forever. It doesn't matter. It's still there. It's still Larsa. She still has that aura around her. Love her or hate her.
Even if you were to break her down like that and say like, oh, you're only as good as being with Scotty. You're only as good as being, close to the Kardashians. On some level, that also has to open up your mind to say, wherever Larsa goes, people want to be people of, and I'm not saying Kardashians have merit or not, but like they are the biggest family in pop culture at this moment. So Larsa has to have something if like they want to be around her. Larsa has to have something if Scottie Pippen, one of the greatest basketball players ever, wants to be around her. And Jordan's son, like it's just she's something. So that would be my dream. And you always got to manifest, David. So I'm going to manifest a podcast series with Larsa.
And by the way, I think Larsa earned her keep. Last season, I think, was the best she's ever been. Like, she, you could say she's this, she's that. She really was very vocal last season. She brought it. So to me, she's welcome to Housewives. It was the season for me where it's like she's here because she's an actual housewife, period.
And I can't remember which housewife you and I talked about when we did past episodes, but it was this thing that I don't want to speak for you, but I think we both hate. Some housewives show up and they're big and they do all the things. with that, you might have a couple mishaps, but others like Karen Huger, real quiet, real waiting for something to happen just so you could react and you could be, the motherly figure, the like, the compassion of the show. There's nothing wrong with that game plan, but please don't hate on the people that are showing up to play. This is a reality show. It's not a PBS documentary. I wanted to ask you about this, but I don't think we have the time, but I will flash a photo. I want your opinion because I love her so much. And I listen to you and Kim D sometimes. And I don't think you love her like I love her. David, some quick thoughts, good and bad, on Melissa, the icon on display, Gorga. Give it to me, buddy.
Well, I have to say, I mean, I'm looking because the picture I looked at earlier today, I didn't know there was a hood to this.
Right. A little more fashion in that regard. Absolutely.
Now, this Saturday on Patreon, Kim and I are breaking down. We are literally going from 9 to 1 and ranking the looks. I have to say, now that you're showing this to me again with a hood, I like it better. It's not my favorite from the New Jersey, but it's really in real time as I sit here, Ronnie. You might be working wonders on me. This is going way up on my list. I'm really loving this with a hood. Well, I think the picture I had didn't have a hood.
Yeah.
I think that makes all the difference.
I've seen the ones without it, but definitely the look is the hood. It adds that regal, real, fashion forward moment. I will tell you, I just make the joke when I put the photo of her. Obviously, Kim probably doesn't have a lot of great things to say about Melissa.
But I told Kim, when we do this, you keep your person. This is looks only, and Kim is like, I understand.
And honestly, the thing that everyone should know about your Patreon is you guys go, not like you go back and forth and you go back on your word, but you will go and you will give credit where credit's due. But then you'll say, I kind of see this. Like, I love, and I try to do it too. You'll never get like almost just like a biased opinion always. Sometimes you got to say maybe my favorite, queen or icon of these shows isn't delivering. So I like the way you guys are very fair. Fair is the word. I love her so much.
Week by week.
I just love her so much. The
You're gonna have to
Housewives.
Send me this picture. Hold on, let me take a picture of the string because I want to show this to Kim.
Yeah.
Because this changes my look with Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, and she's working it. The eyes, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. And listen, which I don't think it will be, if it is her last season, she's gonna be okay. I love Joe and Melissa. I just do. And this show. Anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I'm saying the show is the show. Like, there's other things. There's other parties in town. Like, it'll be fine. Okay, last Bravo related thing. What do you know about Scandoval jokes showing up at the White House?
I mean, I don't even understand. I mean, Ariana was at the White House, Lisa Vanderpump, and Lala. I don't understand what is going on in the world, to be honest with you. Like, how? I mean, I get it, but how are they at the White House? That's literally crazy.
Well, and it's also it became a big story, and I got to tell you, we got real bored with it real quick, and now you can't watch what happens live without Andy Cohen, dripping saliva out of his mouth, saying, "Oh, are you what? Do you know about Scandoval?" Like, it's just everyone has been so corny with the way they've reacted. I mean, if you really want to break it down, and I watch a lot of the other reality shows too, if you really wanted like a scandal, Raquel would have been like having sex with all of, whoever. She kissed a couple frogs. Like, it's okay. Like, the basis of the show, Sheena started in that situation. But I mean, I'm not knocking Sheena. But the scandal.
Well, that's Brandy's point. Brandy's point is like, yeah. I kind of agree. I mean, I don't really see what the big deal is. I mean, I still talk about it on my show because that's what people want to hear, but like, I'm so over it.
Yeah. Good for the cast members. I'll say that. Like, it's good. The cast members rejuvenated a show that was on its way out. Okay. Wrapping up, just, being courteous of your time too. Let's do some conversation about the 2023 Met Gala and some fashions. David, we got David of Behind the Velvet Rope. So let's start with Kendall Jenner. What are you thinking?
Loved it. I mean, do you want me to elaborate? I think it's so risque but also so elegant. I love the boots. I think it was on brand, like for the night. I
Mhm.
loved it. I really loved it. I'm a
Yeah.
fan. I
Do you
mean,
think it?
she's so tall to begin with. I mean,
Yeah.
she's towering over the sisters.
Mhm. Oh yeah, we have a photo
I
of
was
the
a fan.
sisters too. Yeah, when she
I love
stands next to both of them, it does look a little bit different. She does have a little bit of a star power. I thought Kim was not gonna go attend this year. I thought that was like one of the headlines or something.
I didn't see that. I mean, I wonder why. What, just because of all the flack from last year? But I thought at one point there was these rumors that Anna wasn't inviting them, and I was like, that makes no sense to me.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah,
they're going to be invited. I don't know where Chris was. I don't know where Chris Jenner was.
yeah.
And does this mean Chloe didn't get invited? That's what I'm confused about.
What are your thoughts on the theme, Karl Lagerfeld? Do you like the theme? Did you have any other ideas?
I liked the theme. It
Hmm.
begs the question that we've lost other designers, other years
Yeah,
that one could argue are as influential. And
yeah.
where have those tributes been? But I liked the theme because there's so much you can do. Because if you go down to place all the houses that he designed for,
Hmm.
besides himself, it really then includes all these other things. Like a lot of people are in Gucci, and I liked it. I really
Yeah.
liked it, and I liked that people wore a bunch of different designers. I
And
liked
people
it.
weren't really out there with the color either. It was a very, a lot of the themes were like black, white, silver. Anyway, speaking of silver, we've got a young icon. I am for it. Let's hear what David thinks. I am for it. Lil Nas X. I mean, if you're gonna cover your face, you got to give it in a funky way. The butt cheeks were out. I don't know if I'm giving him an extra pass because I find him to be, somewhat cute. And I love his passion. I love his FU attitude. Like, I'm living my best life. You can't touch me. David, what is your thought on Lil Nas X at the Met Gala?
I mean, the butt is out, the abs are out. So let's just start with that. Listen, I feel there, I think it's harder for certain people because, like, he's like a Rihanna to me. There's so much that's expected from you, right? So, kind of the same as the Kardashians, but there's so much expected from him. I think he nailed this. I think it was on brand, it was on theme. You have the body, you might as well show the body off. I and the crowd went crazy. I don't know if you were watching E when people arrived. This was one of those, like, the crowd basically gasped. There were maybe like 4 gasps of the night that I counted. This was one of them.
David, you think I still pay for E? I do not pay for E anymore. E has been so off the map, but you're right. E does have the best coverage,
The
but
crowd
I missed it.
gasped. Gasped.
I love the boots. He's just he's
He's hot. I'm
out
sorry.
of this world. I Before we started the show, you said you had thoughts and opinions, so I was like, oh my god, maybe you have a polarizing opposite opinion. But
I
we
thought it
are
was amazing.
tooted or booted.
Amazing.
It's a toot for sure.
I mean, that's your costume. It's just your body and God. It's brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. It was on theme.
It was brilliant, and if he had that much fun at the Met, who knows how much fun he had at 3:30 in the morning. Go ahead, Lil Nas X, you better get it in. Go for it, brother. What do
I
we
don't think we need to worry about Lil Nas X.
what do we think about Anne Hathaway?
I mean, again, I'm having a moment like with Melissa. Looking at it now, I'm like, okay, maybe it's better than the worst dressed award that I gave it last night.
Mm,
Overall, I think it's horrible. I'm not a fan.
yeah.
Not a fan. I don't like those pasties. That's the first thing. Like the gloves, I think there's so much wrong with it.
Mhm.
I don't like it. It's a mess.
And if she, as a reputation, doesn't have the best personality, that doesn't give you sometimes you could have a reason to like really root for somebody. But if she doesn't seem like she's that kind of a person, anyways, which we don't know for sure, but let's
Even
just
some of the
say,
interviews she was doing, like on the carpet, I didn't think she was being overly gracious.
mhm. This next one, I feel like I love it. And I feel like she does have like an angelic look, but I feel like, am I asking for something to be done differently with the hair? I have that question in my head. I'm not judging, but Nicole Kidman, I generally do like it, but there's something that's I mean, even the hair is like sort of, not to be like nitpicky. I'm not the most beautiful person. Well, actually, I am. I'm gorgeous, but the forehead's kind of foreheading, and I just feel like maybe something different with the hair. I don't know, but I'm okay with the dress.
You know who I didn't love with the hair last night was Leah Michelle. I don't know if you saw Leah Michelle.
Oh no.
I didn't love the dress either. Her hair was interesting. Um, I don't always love Nicole Kidman the way other people do. I love this for some reason. It was almost like a pantsuit in the front. Like when it split, it was
Mm,
almost like a faux pantsuit. I really like this.
yeah.
And I don't always love her the same way everyone else loves her, but I really like this.
Yeah, it felt very soft to me. And like I said, I'm just nitpicking. In fact, um, based on getting ready for the show, you only have limited time. But I was gonna try to look for other photos of her because I felt like maybe from a different angle it worked a little bit better. But just something is telling me like a little different with the hair. But that's just being like super picky. She looked angelic, and obviously she made a splash. So, and she always does. But people do like her. You said that you don't always. But this to me is really really wonderful. Moving along, we had to throw in Bad Bunny because honestly I didn't hate it. It is a little much too. Like it's like the unnecessary. I don't know what that is. Is that like
A
whatever?
train for a man?
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with it because it's all, I don't know, it's all the solid white. I think he looks wonderful, so that kind of adds to it too. I don't know if I'd give it like a 10, but he seems to have fun and he wears it with confidence. So I generally give this like an 8, about an 8. What are you thinking?
I don't know. There was something about this that it just didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
It like I like it in theory, but I'm so confused.
Mm.
So I would give it maybe like a 4,
Oh, really
maybe a
low.
5.
Okay.
I don't know. It has
Mm.
such potential, but there's something about it that just I don't know.
Was
I
he
don't
was he standing close to her at all?
know, but at the after party, there was a bunch of after parties that they were photographed in together.
Okay. Yeah, I don't equate why like wow, that's an interesting pairing, but if it's happening, it's happening. Go good luck. This next one, I think a lot of people maybe think this too. Um it is a bias, David. I feel like they could have wore a paper bag. I would have been like, "All right." I don't know why, but I say yes to Rihanna and ASAP. Rocky with that beautiful smile. I just and she's pregnant, like right? She's pregnant again. I just love it. I just love it. I don't know if I even should love it, but I
I'm
love
not so sure you should love it. I mean, listen, I find ASAP Rocky to be so hot. So let's just take that out of the equation. I don't
it.
know what either of them are wearing. And she takes that off, and there's more to it than like another picture. There is more, like she showed off the baby bump. I don't know. What is he wearing? Is it Karl Lagerfeld? Is it such a ohm? I guess it is like an ode to him. I'm so confused. I'm confused. I don't know. It's going to be a no from me, Ronnie.
It's gonna be a blind, what do they call it, having a blind allegiance to somebody.
A blind allegiance. Okay, I mean listen. You have it to ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, and Larsa.
I'm owning it. They make me feel good. They like make tickle me a little bit. So I'm like, I should probably be more critical, but I'm like, nope, I love them. I love it. Okay, moving on. Doja Cat. What is your take on this? And then we're wrapping up here. We're gonna end with some really good ones that I enjoy, and then I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
talk
enjoy
about,
some positive ones.
yeah. What do you think about the Doja Cat? Are you a fan of hers musically too?
No, I'm not a fan of Doja Cats, but I have to say this is like something that I would normally hate, but I kind of loved it. It was it just worked. I think it's because of the eye, and like she really does look like a cat. You know, you make
Mm-hmm.
all those jokes about like bad plastic surgery and like you go like I mean this just it worked. And she
Yeah.
showed up as his cat. How brilliant. Besides Jared Leto, which I guess we can get into too, if that's one of these pictures. But
Oh
I
yeah.
really liked, I mean, I know I told you I had a problem with like ASAP Rocky and like Rihanna, but I really, Doja Cat just kind of worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's in her name. Like,
Okay,
just own
what
it.
is your thought with Jared Leto? I thought we pulled the photo, but production, you failed. No.
Fire
uh
those
but we know
producers.
right. We know what he what the look was. Describe it a little bit and then tell me where you were at with it.
Well, I mean, the fact that he showed up as the cat and then, took the head off and we revealed that that was him. And like later, he was like even at, I think, Kendall and Kylie's table with the hat, that the cat head is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Listen, he's playing Karl Lagerfeld in a movie.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, that's
he's
great.
playing Karl Lagerfeld. So I think for him, it was certainly an important evening. To me, with fashion, it's like the two guys for me, Timothy Chalamet and Jared Leto, can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. It all works. All the Gucci ads, it all just works for me.
Based on what though? Like who they are, like their vibe or what?
I think, both of them, but like Jared Leto, like the body type, I think he's like, he's like in his 50s, man, my friend.
Yeah.
Like he just is meant to wear clothes. Then you factor in like the longer, like Jesus-esque hair, which has like a little bit of like a lighter, I just think Jared Leto is fashion. He looks cool to me in everything he wears.
Yeah.
He really does. And he's also not afraid to go there. Neither of them are.
Yeah. No, he's always intriguing. What do we think of Janelle Monáe? I absolutely love this. Great.
The crowd gasped at this moment too. This was another moment that set people aback.
Oh, what'd they say?
They just said, you're witnessing absolute history. This is it. This is the moment of the night. I mean, they literally lost their minds. I don't know. I'm confused. And I think maybe it went over my head. I guess you can explain to me because you seem to be enthralled with it. But this whole thing kind of went over my head. I don't understand what was so groundbreaking about it.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's groundbreaking. I mean, I didn't watch the E special on account of enough of you rat bastards that are watching don't go to my Patreon. But if you went to my Patreon, patreon.com/randomlyRJ Jr., I'd be able to get the E channel, but I don't have the E channel at the moment. So I didn't see the impact like that. I just gosh, I wish I had more words for it. But seeing her perform live so many times, I think I've seen her live like 3 times, and then just remembering where her aesthetic used to be, because remember, she used to always be suited up. And just who she's evolved into, I think maybe that's what makes me feel really good about this, like the creative freedom to where she started and to who she's become. I think I really love that. It shows a little bit of body, but I don't know. It's just constructed really, really bold and brash, and it's perfect for a red carpet. I don't know. It's like not probably fun to wear, and she probably changed, but do it up for the red carpet. I didn't feel like it's too big, and I didn't feel like it was too obnoxious. I personally, I didn't feel that way. Can I talk about this sexy man that I want to talk about? Do you know who I'm going to put? Do you know who it is?
No.
I didn't give you a hint. I should have given you a hint.
I have an idea.
A Karl Lagerfeld hint. Well, but it's all. Anyway, let me just shut up and do it. Jeremy Pope. I just watched the movie that I thought he would get nominated for. I guess he didn't. Inspection, the one with Gabrielle Union was in it as well as the mother. I've been enjoying what he's been doing, the Broadway shows that he was in, and then how he booked that Hollywood Netflix series. It just keeps on coming and steps into fashion in such a way. He seems so quiet and reserved, but his fashion is so loud. Something like this I feel like could miss, but again, the bias, he's got an incredible body, David, an incredible body. So
really, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, I'll send you some photos. Yes,
please do.
Yes. You like a tight waistline and a broad shoulder. You okay with that?
I'm gonna be okay with that. But that look there is, I agree. I'm wow, just wow.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He intrigues me, and anyone who is like their personality is what do we know? What do I know? More, he does interviews. He's real quiet. He's real calm. He's real kind. And then, but his fashion is like he's always taking challenges, risks rather. And so to me, I feel like this risk paid off. And I believe last year at the award show, not the award show, but the gala also, I believe he had a long train as well. So this is maybe something, that it didn't have a, an image as we see here with Karl Lagerfeld, but he did do this something similar before. So I'm all for Jeremy Pope, not just as a fashion guy, but like I love his acting and I love where he's going. I think he's out of Florida originally, but this career just keeps going and going and going, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Oh, my queen, Jenny Lowe, feels regal, feels old school. You know, I don't know if it's just a photograph here. You know, the paparazzi. It's almost from a different time. And I really, really, really dig it. I hope you agree with me on this. What are you thinking, David?
Loved it. It's Ralph Lauren. Loved it. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful. Real quick as we finish, and you could give me your last thoughts, but before we do anything, I wanted to do my last thoughts on, not that I'm following the Met Gala all the time, but since we're talking about it, I wanted to do one that was my, I guess you would say like my all-time favorite, which was the year that they did, I believe the theme was religion, which, you know, could go so many ways. And it was J-Lo here. This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I just felt like I've not seen anything that I've loved quite like this. Yeah. So
I mean, she is just another one who she's like a Jared Leto. She is a true freak of pure nature, right? 51, whatever it is. This is just so brilliant. It's so brilliant.
Last thoughts, and then we are out of here.
I wish we had the Met Gala every single week because I could like review these looks all day. And I also just want to say, I think that Kylie was also gorgeous with that red. Yeah. And then you see that blue undertone. I loved it because it had a whole blue thing going on underneath it. At first I was like, this is a little simple. Yeah. There was like a cape to it and like under the dress is blue, similar to like what Blake Lively did last year. I just think she looks great. So she was my favorite, and Kendall looked great, and Kim was a little bit of a miss for me. Yeah. But, you know,
well, we said it all. We did pop culture. We did Housewives. We did the White House and reality TV stars and the Met. So we covered it all. David, Yontef, always fun chatting with you behind the velvet rope.
I could chat with you every day if you know.
Well, you might. Now, since we seem to keep being in the same cities, it just happens. We had drinks at Tom Tom once before. We may have to do drinks again. So you stay tuned, my friend. All right, we're out of here. Thank you for your time, David. I'll chat with you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.